make a difference? Where could I start a company that would make a difference in other people's lives? And what do I know as a major and project manager and leader? What are some things that I can transition that to in the real world and maybe make something better? And at the time, I had a partner who was a painter, and we meshed really well, and we kind of developed this model on how to take kind of some basic fundamental projects and corporate mainstays, meld them with this kind of fine craftsman talent, and create something bigger and better. So we did that. That was about 3 years ago. And we've been doing okay ever since. Like every business, is bumps along the way and you have to overcome them. But I'm happy with the decisions that we made, and Matt and Lacquer is, growing in spite of me sometimes. But, we're moving forward, and I'm happy to be a part of it and to, be a leader in it.
That's great. That's quite a story. And it's a great way to apply your entrepreneurial and leadership into an area that might not have had anything to do with where you were in the years prior, but to take the skills that you had, the soft skills, maybe not the hard skills, but the soft skills, and apply them to something else that you were passionate about. I like how the story goes. The Matt and Lacquer is the American dream of a former Marine with a wildly crazy idea that we can build something better by applying simple, customer-focused ideas and training our guys to carry them through the whole process. So expand upon that. How did you get to that? I think we might have frozen Dan. Well, Dan got to that because he wanted to take the Marine Corps values of ensuring that always leading with your heart and being responsible and accountable is what he was going to build his company on, and instill that in all of his employees. Unfortunately, as you can see, we are running into some technical difficulties today. And I will share with you, as we attempt to get Dan back into the broadcast, what Dan and I had discussed. He challenged conventional ways of working and implemented his military planning to translate into how to get a job well done. He takes an awful lot of pride in his work. I recently was able to tour another member that he and his team were working on, which was the Residence Inn in Middletown. Pretty big job. And I have to tell you, I was so very impressed as to what goes in behind the scenes. He and Rachel, his other project manager, they were very, very focused on safety, cleanliness, and the team was extremely professional. So the military responsibility and the attention to detail and the leadership, those all translate into Dan's model. I think we might actually be getting Dan back now.
Yeah.
There he is.
I don't know what happened there.
I adapted and overcame again. This is going to be like the best Meet the Member ever.
Memorable for sure.
I wish I had some of my military props up here in the office.
Yeah, I got a lot of them. I could get this. I'll get you my sword. I got my officer's sword over there. We can just throw it all out there.
I got a javelin over there from when I ran the Spartan.
There you go.
So, we talked about the pride that you have in your work, and I was telling our viewers how I had toured the Residence Inn. Let's get to the part about the who's in building and construction, because that was a huge honor for you. So how did you get from, painting living rooms to being featured on the cover of Who's Who in building and construction? Was there a significant job that propelled you from living rooms into commercial?
Uh, I mean, we have a pretty detailed business plan on where we wanted to start and where we want to be. I have an idea where I want to be this year and next year and the year after that and 10 years from now. But last year, kind of in the mix of figuring out who we were and who we want to be, we got introduced and became working partners with a couple of really great people who are also Orange County chamber members, the guys from DKI, some guys from Pro Tool. There's other companies around, and through kind of just meeting people and developing relationships, we joined these partnerships. And so last year, DKI had a pretty major problem with a leak at Mount St. Mary's, who's also a partner of theirs, and then also part of Orange County Chamber of Commerce. And so Angelo over at DKI called me up and said, "Hey, listen, can you guys do this?" And so I had to do a little bit of soul searching. I had to take stock of my guys and where we were, and take stock of my finances and say, is this something we can do? It was going to be quite a bit of work, intensive, every day, all hands on deck. And ultimately I said, okay, yeah, we can do it. So we went about doing it, and we did a tremendous amount of work in a very rapid fire kind of format. And what it showed me was that, like, one, the stuff that I've been telling my guys about project management, about being clean, being orderly, doing things in a certain way, was paying off, because I couldn't be there all the time, but the work was still being done. And we were able to finish a project, on time, and to, the guys at DKI's and the guy at Mount St. Mary's satisfaction. And so at the end of that, I was like, this is something we can do. It's something that I wanted us to do this year anyways. And so I went out and I started trying to make that happen. I hired a woman named Rachel Rohr, who is my business development manager, who has like so many years of experience, way more years of experience than me. I started arguing with her every day about what's better for us. She's usually right. But she introduced me to the guys, who put together that publication. And she kind of started saying, listen, if you're going to go this way, then these are the people we need to be in touch with. And so we did that, and we invested in those relationships, and, we got lucky to be on the cover of, that magazine. And we'll see. It's been great. It's been good exposure. It's been working with the guys who put together that publication. They're awesome. And, we're just happy we had the opportunity to kind of continue the growth, even despite myself sometimes.
That's humility. That's good. So
hopefully Rachel's not listening to this. You can't know that she's right.
I gave her total props while you were off the screen. But I did get her title wrong, so I apologize, Rachel. I called her manager. So, now that was a tremendous job, and you and I talked about that, and it's amazing how you were able to come together with other members as well. And now you're almost 100% commercial. Do you still work in residential?
Yeah, we still do residential, especially in the summer. The summer is really kind of, you cannot do residential in the summer, because it's a huge period and a lot of work in the Northeast needs to be done. All your exterior work, your decks and your patios, they all need to be worked on in a very short period of time, right? Somewhere between May and September, really. So you have to do it. And we like to do it because the guys, you work in a certain way, a very process-oriented way when you're doing a commercial job. And when you're doing residential jobs, there's the process, but there's also like a good amount of community, service almost, right? You're working hands-on with the owners, and the guys take a lot of pride in finishing somebody's bedroom or somebody's living room, knowing that the people that are going to live there are going to have to look at that painting every day for the next 8 or 9 years until they decide to change the color. So, it helps our guys stay crisp. It helps them, get back into some of the things that they love the most about painting, which is starting and finishing a project, within a day or 2 days, and then kind of moving on. So it's good for the guys, it's good for the morale, and so it's good for the company.
Great. And so, Orange County has often been referred to for many years as the crossroads of the Northeast. And I have to imagine that as much as you want to stay local, and you pride yourself on being a local business, that your work has expanded from being just, a local organization at this point. I believe when I was touring the hotel, you were talking about a job in the Bronx.
Yeah. So, I mean, the ultimate goal is to expand, and it's to continue to expand all the time. But yeah, we work everywhere from the city up to Albany. We have another hotel job up in Albany come towards the end of the year. We're building relationships with people down in the city and trying to develop that market, kind of understand it a little bit better. Hopefully at the end of this year we'll open an office down there somewhere closer to the city so that we can manage our relationships a little bit better. It's a little bit of a hike right now for me, to head down there and do the kind of person-to-person relationship building that I need to do, but it's all part of the goal.
Right. So with so much success out there, there had to be some kind of learning opportunities. What would you say was the biggest challenge that you faced starting your own business?
I have a learning opportunity every morning when I wake up. I can say that we are, that I am very proud to be a part of Matt and Lacquer, and I am very proud of, what we've done. But I'd be remiss to say that we're successful. We are a 3-year-old painting company. We are growing and learning every minute of every day. There is hardly a night that I go to bed that I don't think, I did something wrong today, or I did something right, and I need to remember to pass that along tomorrow or the day after that. So there really isn't a day that goes by that I don't say to myself, we probably could have done that better, or I could have done that better if I had, done this or something. So being a young company, I really pride myself on saying, hey, listen, we're going to do a lot of things wrong. It's how we react to that. How do we recover from that and pick ourselves back up and then, do something right the next day.
But the best leaders never stop learning. And they admit that they stop, right?
Yeah.
So, again, it goes back to humility. The best leader isn't a know-it-all. They're the ones that are gauging from their team, where can I get the most knowledge from you? So it sounds like you have really the best plan in place. So, let's go back to Rachel. Rachel is a great asset to your team. She's really phenomenal. You have an amazing story about how she joined you. Isn't that correct?
I don't know if I shared that story with you, but Rachel has become an integral part of our team. I mean, I cannot. We had the most interesting and amazing kind of.
Oh no! Did I lose Dan again? Well, Orange County, we've had some issues with this broadcast, and I apologize to you tremendously, but this was a real honor for me because, like I said, Dan and I did connect on a personal level as well as a professional level through Leadership Orange, and he has since become a member of the Chamber, and I'm very proud of the success that his business has seen. He's a tremendous leader. He does have great opportunity for growth, and he has a excellent entrepreneurial model that he has put together. He's always thinking what's next. So, if you would like to talk to him, he has put together a model that can be implemented for this business that you can take and put together for other businesses as well. And I don't want to give away any of his model because that's really for him to speak about. So I will say, follow up with Dan. His information is on the bottom of the screen. I apologize that we had some technical difficulties. Going forward for the rest of this week, we have tomorrow, we have a master class that is being brought to you by Orange Bank and Trust Company. They're going to talk to you about how COVID changed banking. So tune in for that. That'll be really exciting. And that will, if you can't actually watch the live broadcast, go ahead and check it out. We'll put that on the YouTube channel and also be on Facebook to view at a later time, as will this episode of Meet the Member, and all have been also uploaded to our YouTube channel. This week we also have Wednesday. Lynn will be meeting with Newburgh Vintage Emporium, so you can meet them on Wednesday's episode of Meet the Member. Next week's episodes are Foley Security and ENT Allergy Associates. And finally, if you are a member of the Orange County Chamber of Commerce, I impress upon you to please join the members only Facebook group. We're going to start popping out some very exclusive information, events, and sharing out there. So it is important for you to please get out there, become a member of that Facebook group. If you don't Facebook, that is the platform that we've chosen to communicate strictly with members. So just get a Facebook page just for that purpose, and be sure when you join, you let us know the name of your company, because that's how we're verifying the membership. So thank you so much for joining us today. Again, our apologies for the technical glitches. It's life. Thanks so much. Have a great day.